Hello, hello, hello. I apologize. I am going to have this as best I can in the screen so you can see. Um, I am Dory Joe with Prairie Scraps, and I'm waiting to go into the crafty bunch here very shortly um, to for Crafter's Choice. So thank you for joining me. If you're watching this first part, you're probably hello, Cheryl. You're probably watching the replay, so put hashtag replay if you're in this first part or whenever you come in. And say hello. Hello, Dottie. Good to see you. We are here waiting to go into the crafty bunch. So I've got a big project today. Big project. So I'm just trying to find my space here because I have a feeling I'm gonna have to do some standing up. Oh, thank you. My clock is like, I don't know, a minute behind, so a little early. I am Dory Joe Stowell from Prairie Scraps, and I'm over on YouTube as well as Facebook and Prairie Scraps. So thank you so much for joining me. Make sure that you say hello and let me know you're out there. That helps me out. Oh my goodness, I cannot see, so maybe we won't have much help today. My glasses are dirty. Okay, let's see. I had a cleaning job this morning. Hello, Anita. So I got like hot and sweaty and it was very dusty. So thank you, Cheryl, for sprinkling me out. Hello, Deborah. I've got a big project today, so I've got the cameras set up so you can't see me very well, but I'm sure you get the idea. You don't need to look at me, right? So I have this window that was getting ready for I probably should have brought my glass cleaner, but I don't know if you can see that. It says, welcome to our wedding. But when they did this one, it got smeary. So they're not happy with it. Someone else did this. My future daughter-in-law's aunt, I guess, did it. So she's buying from somebody else, not from me even, but I'm getting to fix her stuff. So I think what she did, it looks to me like it got blurry and kind of got outside the lines. So I don't know if she went over this a couple of times. It looks like maybe she tried to paint on it. So, but it is done with chalk, and it is our little transfer chalk couture. And so I'm gonna take it off and start over. Unfortunately, this color that she has, I was like, what color is that? She goes, well, it's a chalk color. So I was trying to color match it up for her before I was getting started. And I think they used forest, which I think she's using more of like a peacock color, but it looks peacock. This is the forest color, and mine is dried solid. And I don't have any more, and the wedding is in 2 weeks. I have added some water in there in hopes of getting it reactivated, but not today. So I'm going to do it. Thankfully, because it's on glass, it is totally erasable here. So I'm going to go ahead and I just sprayed it with water, and I'm going to see it comes right off with our scraper. So it comes off really nice and easily. All you have to do is use a little bit of water to reactivate the chalk, and easy peasy it comes off. I don't know if you can see that. I was trying to think of something I could stick under there so you could see better. Maybe I could put a piece of our chalk suede paper just so you could see, because I know it's kind of busy. There. Does that help? Tell me if that helps or not. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Martha. Thank you for joining me. We are doing Crafter's Choice today. Up before me was Christy Sloan at My Artful Adventures. And she was doing some great card stock things. Oh my goodness. Like all the different flaps. I was like, I'm going to have to go back and see what exactly her finished project and everything like that. I like to make cards, but I cannot do the complicated folds. It has to be like one step at a time for me by other people. So maybe I'll go back and look at it. I'm always excited about seeing the cards. I don't know. I'm more simplistic maybe with the cards. So anyway, there's a thick part here. I can tell they've gone over this a couple times. So I'm making a second go of it. I know that their color of their dresses it's called peacock. And I think this was a special color that came out. You could see it's a little bluer than, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's a little bluer than the green they used. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that, the difference, but this was a color of this was one of our Chalk of the Month colors. So it was only exclusive. So she's going to get an exclusive color on it. So, but I do know that the wedding is peacock. Oh my goodness. I didn't even think to grab one of my window cleaners. I should have done that because I feel like I'm going to have a hard time getting this nice and clean as far as a window. I have a little cleaning business, family cleaning business. And so windows are my nemesis. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Sherry. Thank you for coming on in and taking a look, checking it out. We're on the Crafty Bunch. And so I'm going to be on for 45 minutes here in Idaho. And we're going to be doing a wedding sign out of an old window. And it had already been done by somebody else. So I got given it to try to make corrections on it. So unfortunately, I think I figured out the color because she didn't even know the name of the color. So I think I figured out it was forest, but my forest is completely dried up. And I checked my stash of singles packets. Nope, of course I don't have a forest. And this wedding is in 2 weeks. So, and I need to get it done because my mom is coming to visit on Thursday and I'm going to be busy. We're going out of town. So up next on the Crafty Bunch after me is going to be Tarina Matthews. And she, I'm sure, is going to show you something very beautiful. She is a crafter, creator. She is amazing. And she's going to share something really fun. And she will be up at 1:30 my time. I'm in Pacific time. So I think that would be 4:30 Eastern time if you're on the East Coast. Thank you, Jennifer. I am excited. I will make sure I go back and follow you as well. Thank you for doing that. Hello from Western Washington. I'm trying to think where that is. Hello. I am in Idaho. So kind of, we go to Clarkston for our grocery shopping, which is about an hour away. Hey, my little piece of paper towel isn't doing too bad at getting this clean. I'm pretty excited about that. All right. So I already did one welcome to our wedding sign on a wood sign, but I think I'm going to still, because glass is so sticky. That's on the back side. I'm going to go ahead and do this again, fuzz it again. I don't want it to stick too hard to my glass. So I'm hoping this works out for me. I'm not exactly sure. Like if you ever have it, my first hunch, if I was making this in the first place, I would have tried to scratch up because windows, like they're so slippery, you can actually just, once the chalk dries, you can scratch off any boo-boos, which is kind of nice. But I think her aunt is maybe not quite as experienced as I am. I've been doing this a long time. And so I feel like she probably wouldn't know all the tricks. And I kind of know some tricks. But if you ever find that you're working on a project, you want to, and with chalk transfers and chalk, always feel free to ask me questions. I can, it's just crafting. So there's always a way to fix it some way. But I'm sticking this down and I can see where I maybe had some big pieces of fuzz here. So I'm going to make sure all the edges, you just want to make sure. And on glass, it's a little bit easier to tell. I have a little piece of fuzz in here, so I'm going to grab that because I don't want it to leak out. The key is that you want it to be really, really firm, no air bubbles underneath at all, because that will make it travel underneath. So that's the first thing. You want it to stick down really nice and firm, no air bubbles. Just going over this, and I don't usually do this, but I'm going to use a squeegee and just go ahead and squeegee. I wonder if too, like maybe it looks like they try to go over it, maybe with a brush or whatever. I don't know, I don't know. I wish I could have been a mouse in the corner when she was doing this. Thank you. So, anyway, it is 9/11 today, and I hope y'all. I know this was a hard day for everybody in our nation when it happened, and so just so you know, I'm praying for anybody that was involved and trying to recover from it. I'm sure it affected so many people in the East so much. I see another little piece. The nice thing about these transfers is they're pretty opaque, not clear, but opaque. So you can see through. That might be just a little extra piece of paste. Yes, it is. I feel really bad. I'm sure everybody, do you remember where you were? Are you in, oh, you said you're Western Washington. It was a sad day, right? I was trying to think about where I was when it happened. It's like, I remember when I was growing up, my mom would talk about when JFK got shot and what she was doing. And I don't even remember. I could ask her. But I kind of feel like this was one of those events too, like that. I was reading through the Civil War with my daughter in history class. And I'm sure people who lived through Lincoln being assassinated and the Civil War absolutely feel the same way, right? Like, it's such a huge grief, and it's like a nationwide grief. And like, I've got some little like fuzzies on here. You know what it is? Yesterday I used burlap in here, and my fuzz cloth probably picked up all the little pieces of burlap. Burlap is messy. All right, try that a little bit better. I'm just trying to burnish this a little bit. I don't normally do this, but because I don't want to redo this, I'm gonna just double check, because we've got a track record going. I see a little. I want to make sure. I think that's actually chalk under there. I'm not sure. A little bit of paint. All right. My brother was on the plane that was gone. Oh no. Crazy. Yeah, I think I was homeschooling, and we lived in the Midwest, in fact. I don't remember what year that was. I should have looked before I'm bad with years and names. So thank you. Thank you so much, Christy. I appreciate that. Your card was looking gorgeous there. So if you're not in the Crafty Bunch, go and join the Crafty Bunch. There's lots more up after this. Tarina, like I said, is after me. And she's always amazing to watch. She's always got some great projects going. I am using a color that was an exclusive color for a month, because we have Color of the Month paste now. And this was called Academia. And so I'm just going to go ahead and get it started, put some on here. And I think I'm just going to use my big squeegee for it, and see how we do. We'll see. Hopefully this will work. Trying not to go too many ways. We don't want it. I do have a little fan blowing, and I don't want it blowing on there. Oops, I knocked it over. But at least it's not going on my chalk. I asked her if she, personally, I would have done white. That would have been my 2 cents, but it's not my wedding. She wants this color, and I suggested maybe white would show up better because it's clear. So I'm going to make this and then see if she wants me to put any like a pattern on the back side, so it'll show through in white maybe. That's what I'm thinking. So if it doesn't show through very well for her, that is my thought. And then I'm just going to put back in here. I didn't really actually have a whole lot of extra, but just whatever I have extra, I'll put back in the jar and use that again next time. Even this big of a sign, it doesn't even, use all that much. So I'm going to shut that up so it doesn't dry. I'm finding that everything is dried. Okay. So we're going to just peel. You want to do an even peel, not from a corner, and just nice and slow, because we don't want to lift it up if it's a little dry. And actually it was a nice fuzzing, if you ask my opinion, because it's really nice and clean. it's coming off nicely. It's not sticking so hard. You would find, oops, one little spot I see. Let's see. One little spot on the W. I see there's no paste right there. Any other places? Okay. This is the other nice thing about it, is you can just put it back down and redo an area if you find that you didn't do it. Oops, I do have a little bit of a whisper there. But I don't think it's too bad. I'm glad I went back and redid that one area. Okay. That is it. And this, we just use it over and over and over. Yay. Thank you. It actually comes with a whole bunch of stencils. So it's a great big one. That was just one part of it. So there's like reserve, there's greens on here. I have like used these greens. I made Mr. and Mrs. Aprons and t-shirts for them. There's bride, there's groom. There is, the party starts here. I need to ask my son if they need a sign that says that, because he was asking me if I could do some arrows. So we'll see. And then this says, oh, snap, tag us in that. And then I think you have to, and there's a really pretty ampersand on there. You see that? Right there. And guest book, cards, and gifts. Personally, I would like them to be a little bit bigger just for signs, you know, because especially like we're having probably over 100 people there. Kind of a bigger wedding in a barn. So it'd be nice to have bigger ones. Thank you. It is very beautiful. I love that, the writing on it. Okay, let's see if we can turn this so you can see. Never fear. I do have, and I'm going to just go ahead and put this there. Welcome to our wedding. And see, that does help it, doesn't it? Hello, Tarina. Tarina is coming up next. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm not sure. Maybe it was just they didn't get it all the way down. I do see right in here just a teensy tiny bit of whisper like they had. So maybe it's in the stencil a little bit, but it's nothing that I would be like, that has to be redone, you know? But like I said, if you were doing this, you could totally just take one of our tools and, or even, I found my tool. It's been missing for a while. So you could just take your tool and scratch it a little bit. But you want to be careful. Once it's dry, it's fine. So I tend to like, my hands don't work so great because I have carpal tunnel. And so this is not my favorite thing to do. But it is nice that you can kind of fix it. You can also go over it. So I'm going to ask her if she wants me to put a pattern on the back. My suggestion would be maybe buffalo check. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what she would want to do. It's totally up to her. Oh, I see a little sticky or something. I don't know what's on there. Something is on there. There's my, I thought I had a wipeout here. Who knows? But I think that's pretty good. I think we did all right here. I don't know what happened to my wipe. It's probably like hidden somewhere. I don't know. Thank you. I hope she likes it too. So we'll see. I will send her a picture today, and then I might have to do another step. I like to, what I've been doing lately, I love to do windows for signs. I like to do them more like evergreen, so you can put them in your house. Like I have a coffee one up in, and speaking of which, there's going to be a pop-up at the end of the month that's based on coffee. So I'm excited about that. But anyway, this has got, I have a coffee window in my house hanging above my coffee machine. And I just put like, I'm trying to think what pattern I put. Maybe buffalo check, because I like buffalo check. Maybe it was a plaid. I don't know. But you could put any one of our patterns on the back side of it. And that will make it so that it's so nice and crisp. Just, it shows it through without having to solid paint it. I've also seen people like solid paint it on the back. But because this isn't my window, I am a little frightened though. I don't want to like break her window. That is the one thing. And this was handed down to her from my daughter. You know what? I didn't even check to see if I was in the middle. I hope I put that in the middle. Ugh. Trying to get this set down without breaking anything. Okay, I had a backup project just in case we didn't take very long. But look how easy and quick it was to make a nice big sign. I was thinking about doing another project for them. These are erasable pennants. And I did Hello Summer a while ago, in the middle of summer. And they're cute. You like, see that? So I was thinking about doing, oh goodness. So I gotta unstring beads. That makes me sad, to be honest. It is not fun to do beads. All right, we got that. I'm trying to find some way to contain my beads so they're not rolling all over the place. You know what I mean? Jeez. I got it. Set it in the middle here. Maybe that'll hold a few. Maybe not enough. Trying to be creative here. So I was thinking about doing their names. Oh, you know, I was thinking about putting their names on there, Ben and Brooke. I'm going to ask her too. I hate to make any decisions without them because it is their wedding. So I don't know. I was thinking maybe they didn't want any of my wedding, you know, because I was like, I got the wedding stuff in. I got all the transfers I could get in for the wedding. And then I didn't hear anything. And then she was like, look what we did. And then her aunt had purchased that same thing, not from me, and went ahead and made the window. And I was like, oh, well, that looks nice. I didn't say anything. But I was thinking, I didn't even want any of mine. So, but normally if this was in my house, I would just go ahead and do whatever I wanted on the back side. But because this is going to be at the wedding, I don't want to have this accidentally show. So I'm going to start clearing these off. And I'm trying to decide. So they're doing sunflowers, but not with the yellow. Like they're doing sunflowers for their flower. And then it's like a peacock, which is almost like a teal color. And I just use the academia for that window. So what do you think? Should I do the letters just in black and just keep it simple, white and black? Or should I paint the background, which actually makes a cleaner background if I can just put a coating of paint over the top of these. Oh goodness. I may have a mess on my hands. We're gonna put these on here so we don't make a mess all over. I love all the cardboard backings on all the craft stuff. I keep them all because I reuse them. It's good to reuse. Hello, Jenny. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. You've had a busy summer. And Belinda, good to see you. And Teresa, thank you for joining in and helping me out. Make sure if you haven't followed me already, follow Prairie Scraps, my business page. I really appreciate that. See how nice that comes off? It actually pretty much pretty close to everything comes off just by wiping it with a wipe in water. And then, yeah, that is making a mess. I'm making a mess, as always. Look at my hands. It reactivates the chalk on here. So, and like I said, I would normally leave it and just do like fall next on this pennant and not worry about getting it off until I want to do something else. But because I'm hoping she'll be okay with, I showed her these, she didn't really comment. And so I thought I'm just going to make them. So this pennant comes with, I'm pretty sure, 12 of these little pennants that you can use. I've maybe got too much water going today. Hello, Brenda. So I had a cleaning job this morning. I was cleaning up after a wedding, actually. So it's a gorgeous place. It's a private place, but friends and family can, which I'm not, so that's not where we're having it, but happened to see their gorgeously rustic. They did like wine bottles, clear wine bottles with little fairy lights inside of them. Beautiful. All the wood and old wood. It was gorgeous. All right, so you may be having your doubts about this right now, but lo and behold, our little board eraser, do you see how like it's kind of got a whisper? This little board eraser will get it right off. The only thing I may be having a struggle with are not the edges, but inside. I can see I spilled. Use our tool maybe. I don't know. Ooh, that just made it black. That wasn't my intention. Now it's like a game of trying to get them off. So I thought I'd put their names and then an ampersand on here. And I'm wondering if it would be easier just to... I was thinking a white, but I don't even know what their head table is. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a go and see what they think. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I paint the background? I'm probably gonna need to because I can see like they don't look crisp white like I bought them. Let's just say that. All right, so we got that one clean. See how there's kind of a whisper on there? I don't know if you can see that. It's just not, there it is. There's sort of like a little whisper on there where the letters and the everything was. And then once you use this board eraser on there, it's just like, it's like magic. I guess I could have done this ahead of time. I didn't realize how quickly I get done. So we're over here in the Crafty Bunch, and Tarina Matthews is going to be up next with Create with Tree. That's me, and she's got this. It's Crafter's Choice today, so who knows? You know, we're all creative bunches, so I'm sure it'll be really fun and interesting to watch her. If you're in the Crafty Bunch, go ahead and refresh the page after I'm finished here. I have about 15 more minutes left. Hello, Melanie. I'm thinking Tarina must have shared me out. I maybe missed that. I will go back and answer any questions if you have any questions about this project. I'm definitely making a mess. That is my MO, I think. And that is okay. I think I might just go ahead and do, maybe I'll paint these with white first before I, can't find the end. Oh, that's not the end. This is, all right. Trying to keep my beads from running away. I kept my beads natural. I like the plain and natural look, usually the farmhouse look. So that's how I kept them. And just planned on changing it, you know, mostly changing it just by season, like 4 seasons. And because they're not erasable, but, you know, they're water soluble, you can just wet it down and get it off. It reactivates the chalk. What you did is shimmer white or white texture on the background. Oh, yes. See, that's what I was thinking about, because the letters, if you can even it out, because these are kind of a bumpy service because they are reusable. I have seen people, you could sand it if you want, but I have concerns about that. Right, the tone on tone. Yeah, I was thinking the white. That was my thought. Don't use that. This one's going to be really messy. With the black letters on there, it's kind of creating quite a mess. So I was going to put their names and then, yeah. I was just going to do Ben and Brooke. Because I've only got 12 of these, though. I couldn't put Ben's full name, so I was kind of sad about that. I like using, I'm doing this all wrong here. I should be using this before I wipe it off. Let's see. It's like I put the water on, then wiped it off before getting it off, so. I do wonder a little bit about black is always a mess. Yes, that is true. That is true. It is. And it stains because it's got strong pigments in it. Black does. So it does stain everything. And here I am smearing it all over this one. So it's getting, the thing that I'm seeing is that the black is getting inside the holes. And even though it's erasable in there, I can't get it off because this is a multi-wipe day for crafting. Are you really crafting if you don't make a mess? Oh, that's so true, right? You're not really crafting. You're not making a mess. And you're definitely not having fun if you're not making a mess. Because what fun would it be if you were always super neat? I think that's the one thing that always kept me from doing crafts with my kids. Like I homeschool and I love to do crafts myself. And I've got pretty crafty kids around here. But I always hesitated doing it. Like science projects, I would leave that up to my husband because I just didn't like the mess. I like things to be neat. But now, because this is water soluble, I feel pretty safe doing this just about anywhere. So now I'm a lot more freer with crafting, although I have a craft area. One time, this little camper used to belong to my uncle, and then before that, it belonged to my grandfather. So it has a history. And my uncle was on watching me one time. He's like, no, don't get paint on the counter. And I'm like, it's water soluble. I promise I will get it off. Because I got a little bit over here on this yellow part. And it's the original from 1953 counter. So he was all worried about my countertop. I'm like, no, I didn't mean to startle my uncle from his, from my crafting experiences. I really didn't mean to scare him. Seriously. But yeah, crafting is kind of a messy pursuit, which for those of us who are kind of a neatnik, although I'm so neatnik, I get stuck on messes. So then I don't really clean very well either. Because I will start like, okay, I got to clean this whole room. And then I start in one little corner and have to organize it. So micromanage it. I never get anything else done. So my husband knows the look when I'm getting overwhelmed with my own mess. I'm going to start and I'm going to do his name so you guys can see me actually the fun part. Cleaning is no fun, right? Although I feel like this has been my whole day. I have a little side business of cleaning, and so today was a clean day. I don't think next weekend, maybe 3 weekends, there's a wedding in there again. So had to go in, do the cleaning. Fun. So do you guys ever, like, I went in and I turned on the water faucet. It's a brand new place. It's a brand new water faucet. And I clicked it and the button flew off into the sink, and it's a black sink Hi, Maritza. Good to see you. It's a black sink that I was working in. So the little button fell off. I couldn't see it. There's no light above it. And so I was cleaning. I'm like, oh, shoot. So I finally found it in the bottom of the sink, like feeling around. And I thought I could have turned my flashlight on, my camera. I just didn't think of that when I was like panicking. Like I just lost this button on this brand new sink faucet. And so it popped back on. I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm glad that popped right back on. And then I pushed it again. I turned it on and it was going all over the place. So I tried to push the button again to kind of calm it down. And it fell off again and went down the drain into the trash compactor. So then my daughter she's like, don't turn it on now. So anyway, Lydia reached down in, got the piece, and I called the manager of the farm that I clean at. And I said, hey, there's this problem with the water faucet. He comes in, he pops that thing back on, and lo and behold, it works. Do you guys ever do that? Like call them, take your car into the mechanic and then it works fine. I know it happens all the time to my husband. I've even sent my stuff to my husband or said, my whatever isn't working on the car. My car's, hello, Monique. Good to see you. My car is not, I'm going to use a portion of this because I don't have any. I just saw this and I thought it was genius. So I'm just going to cut off a piece of this. It's kind of broken up anyway. Board eraser. And I'm going to use that to paint these white because I want to give it a dull surface. Good to see you. Oh my goodness. I'm falling apart here. I don't know how much. I might need some water in my white. Goodness. I'm getting like to the bottom of the barrel of everything right now. So I'm going to have to start replacing. I've got the white sitting here. So if I don't have enough, but I'm going to just do like, I have a feeling I do have my white shimmer too, but I have a feeling that's even more dry than this, but I want to get as much of this out as I possibly can before I move on to the next one. So I just added a little bit of water. It was, it's just because the jar is so empty, it kind of dries around the edges. Hello, Jenny. Good to see you. Are you guys having hot weather today in Arizona? So anyway, he came in and he pushed that button over and over and over. And I even tried it in front of him and it didn't come off. So I don't know. I'm like, of course, when I call somebody to look at this faucet, he goes, it's not exactly working right. So you're right in that. I'm like, well, okay. I don't need to be right. I just feel dumb for calling him. He's got plenty of other things to do. So I'm just going to paint this white. And the reason why is because I want to make sure, one, it's a nice crisp white, but two, it just gives it like, it's got a shiny, bumpy surface. And this will just make it easier, more of a sealed matte finish for my, I've never used a sponge. I usually use a paintbrush. So this is a new thing for me. But it's working pretty slick, actually. Better than a paintbrush. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Trying not to make streaks. And then I'm having to get a little bit, like I said, I kind of leaked around the edges a little bit with my cleaning. And oh, goodness. Look at how the back is all dirty. We'll have to clean that later. Anyway, get these couple of these painted so you can get the idea of what I'm going to do. And I'll for sure post a picture once I get this project done. So many things going on. Homeschooling. My mom is coming, so we're trying to finish everything up. Canning. We're doing canning. Do any of you can? Curious. I was on yesterday on the Crafty Bunch. I'm just going to leave that because I think I'm just making wet spots. That's what I think I'm doing. Pick up some more of this. So while I was on the Crafty Bunch yesterday, and I had a cleaning job yesterday too, my My husband was canning. He made homemade tomato soup and canned it. It is so good I have never ever, I don't think I've ever had homemade tomato soup. You know, it was fast and easy. I'm not sure I would ever go out to make it. Tomato soup is so, tomatoes are in general are pretty acidic for us. We get heartburn from it. So one year I was inspired because I had way too many tomatoes. One year I canned tomato soup. And wow, does that taste amazing. On your list, you're welcome to come over and help. So he did tomato soup and salsa, zesty salsa yesterday. So that was his thing yesterday. Looks like a little piece of fuzz in there. All right. So there are my two painted ones. So you can kind of see it's just more matte. Yes, that one's wet. So do you see that? It does look a little, see, I was thinking it looked a little streaky in my opinion. I'm just going to go over a little bit here. Maybe I just need a little bit of water. A little bit of water. A little dab will do ya. Trying to get rid of this streakiness. Maybe if my little board eraser here is not ideal because I've used it for cleaning and I'm trying to do white. Yes, salsa and tomato soup. We've got a big crate of pears. Somebody had pears growing in their yard. Gave us pears, so that's going to be next. We've done peaches. And what else did we do? He did canned tomatoes last Thursday. We worked on that last Thursday. So canned tomatoes, salsa. And then we've done blackberry and huckleberry jam. Blackberry jam is going out to anybody who's coming to our wedding from out of state. So they're going to get some blackberry jam as their thank you gift, along with, zucchini bread. I made zucchini bread. I've got 11 made. I have to make 13. So I'm making another batch soon of zucchini bread for the wedding for out-of-town guests. So they're getting zucchini bread with zucchini that my son actually grew himself. So that's pretty exciting. I have raised some gardeners. I'm pretty excited about that. Canned peach jam. Oh, yummy. Love that, Maritza. Love that. Yes, I'm not going to lie. We did peaches. We did peaches last week as well. Just regular peaches, canned peaches. And these pears will go into regular pears. But we did blackberry and huckleberry. Both we picked. Blackberries we got on the side of the road and picked them on the side of the road too. They grow wild here in Idaho. So we made blackberry jam from the blackberries. They're the giant ones too, like on the side of the road. I did make peach jam. Oh, good, Mom. I love that. Dave made peach last year, so we've got a couple jars left from last year. So we decided just to do canned peaches. And I'm trying to think what else we're going to have to do. Oh, he did some pepper jelly too. I think it was less. Ugh, that's good. Get paint on my nice shirt. I hardly ever get paint on my shirts. I do get it all over my hands and everywhere that I'm working. But the first day I wore this is only, I've only had it a couple weeks, this Crafty Bug shirt, and I got black paint on it and it won't come off. I've got a little tiny stain of black paint and I try to take it off every time I throw this through the laundry, but it's not been successful coming off. So, that's how it is. That's how my life goes. How it rolls for me. For real. Hi, Mia. Good to see you. I wonder if that means when that inner thing comes off. Do you think that means that I'm done? They seem to be coming off right at the very end. I don't know. It's because I got all the dried pieces or What? But I'm going to throw that away because it's not helping me out. Oh, very good. Yeah, my husband made peach jam last week. So I have just a couple more minutes here on the Crafty Bunch, and I'm going to work on getting at least, I think I'll do both B's because they're both their names start with B. Oh, maybe I won't. I don't have it cut out yet. These big ones, letters I try to cut out and put in my 3x5 card box, but these were too big. They stood up, I thought, and they're not all consistent. So I've done this one like a puzzle. So we're going to start off with the B. Maybe do two B's. To be or not to be, because both their names start with a B. And then I'm going to do it more on the bottom portion of this. And I'm going to use that same color, Academia, to put it on with. I guess we'll just grab a new squeegee so you get an idea. So this will be a pennant. I was thinking they could put it on the head table and decorate just with a nice and simple. I think, I don't know. I haven't seen all the things. I was starting to think they weren't even going to want any signs, but here we are. Then they asked for t-shirts. There it is. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. And I tell you what, I did the last one just on the pennant and didn't do a base coat on it. And this works so much better. So before you start with this, make sure that you do a base coat. So go on over to the Crafty Bunch. Make sure you refresh it. And Tarina, which should be on any moment, go into the Crafty Bunch and watch the rest of the crafters today. And look for all the pictures of the finished goods too. So I will be showing that later on. Have a great and blessed day, and be sure to keep on crafting. Thank you, Mia. Thank you all for joining. Oh, I don't know if you got to see this. There it is. See how nice and clean that was? That's exclusively because I went, let me hold still. I don't know why it won't get it, but it's nice and crisp and clear. There you can see it. And that's because I did that base coat on there. So it just makes a matte finish instead of the shiny surface. And you could take that totally off, later on. I could see a corner where I didn't get it. It's shiny on the corner where I didn't get it painted. So, but that's okay. It is white on white, but isn't that pretty? All right. Keep on crafting. I'm just going to probably, I don't know, watch for the pictures and make sure that you do all the things. Subscribe, like, let me know if you have any questions. I'm more than happy to help you. Have a great, blessed day and keep on crafting.